Starting.
Okay, there you go. You're live.
Well, how's that TV thing? How's that? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we are rolling. Action. Hello, everybody. This is Wellness Wednesday, and we are doing some technical maneuvering around here to get the proper shot. We have the producer back there in the back doing their thing, answering questions. So welcome to Wednesdays. Whew, what a week. Hope you all had a great week. Hope you did something that, shall we say, enhanced your life. Hope you said no to somebody that you needed to say no to. Remember, we're talking about empowering you. As you know, we are talking about, well, welcome to Final Step International, right? And remember, we make sense of your life or situation to empower you to move forward without hesitation. Remember that, okay? And our goal is to help you eliminate any unwanted behavior by gaining awareness and understanding of that unwanted behavior in order for you to be the person you know you can be and live the life you would love to live, okay? That's what we're trying to do. And with that, we do that using the needs-based method. Needs-based method meaning we make sense of your behavior, right? We find the truth behind the behavior so you can change it. Make you understand needs, or we get you to understand needs, and we get you to understand your emotions, how they're connected to the needs, so you can decompress, so you can understand what you're not getting, what you are getting, and why you're responding to that situation accordingly. So those are some of the things we do. And by the way, we do have a book here, When Nobody's Home. Okay, we have that. And this talks about, wow, not getting your needs met. When Nobody's Home talks about, fatherless children, the impact of that, having it on men and women, and the decisions they make in the future, okay, and how your childhood impacts your future. So those are some of the things we did, okay, and we do. So let's do an overview, a quick overview. What is a need? All right, a need is a desired outcome that we try to get from another individual or an event in a given situation. That's what we try. That's a need, okay. Now, can you touch a need? Can you smell it? Can you taste it? Can you throw it? No, it's a concept. So a need. Examples of needs are, let's say, being heard, choice, acceptance, security of home and family, emotional safety. Okay, those are examples of needs. And when we get most of our needs met, and this is what needs look like, okay, these are some examples, and when needs are met, guess what? Life is pretty darn good, okay? So we're going to talk about the questions we have today, but before we do that, I have to introduce you to a friend of mine. Not a friend, but the other half of mine, okay? And that is, they call him Shady, okay? Say, hey, Shady. What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? Okay? Shady is the dark side. Shady shows up when needs are met. Shady is that thing where spells and curses, surface. I am your dark side. I'm the thing you have to handle in order for you to heal. If you don't handle me, guess what? I impact you. I make you do things you don't like to do. I get you in bad relationships. Is that enough? Yeah, that's enough, dude. That's enough. Okay? All right. How did I do? You did fine. Great. Thank you. So, he's going to pop up from time to time to support a comment or a question that we're going to talk about today. And, but he's the one. This guy here is the one. Hey, he's the one that if we don't handle, then we keep doing the same unwanted behavior over and over again. Is that a bad thing? No, that's a good thing. No, it is a bad. Yes. We don't want people to do that. I want people to empower themselves, okay? All right, whatever I can do. Great. So, let's do our first question. The first question of the week. And remember, this is week number 5, okay? The question is, this goes out to they're called the Latino Student Business Association.
Go ahead.
Right? The LCB, right? And these goes out to all the students, the DACAs, and the people who are the first time at school, who are the first time graduates, who are first time college students, and the first time graduates, okay? They present a certain problem to the family because they're the first. So we were at the local college, Cal State Dominguez Hills, and we were at a function where the students get to talk to corporations, and we're one of the corporations. We're very huge, We're one, that what do you call that? That income and the payroll is incredible. So a student came up to me and asked me, what do you do? And we said, well, we are a professional we're a professional behavioral company, professional development company, where we make sense of people's behavior so they can change it. And we work with CEOs, we work with family-owned businesses, we work with individuals and the couples. So we make sense of everything they do so they can understand it so they can change it. And she goes, well, that's interesting. And I say, so do you have anything, that you want to talk about? And us or yourself? Just to give you a sample, right? I'm going to give them a sample. And she goes, no, I think I'm great. Oh, no. Then she goes like this. She goes, the question is, why do I question my confidence? I said, why do I question my confidence? That's a really good question. I said, well, why do you? She says, I don't know. I mean, I'm graduating with an accounting degree. I got my life ahead of me. I'm doing really well, but I still have that. And those of you who can relate to this, all the college students who are first-time graduates, first-time college students can relate to this. Do you remember the time when you doubted yourself even though you were doing really well? And you had this thing about, is it good enough? Am I okay doing this? So we're going to answer that question. After this, I asked her this one question. So tell me about your family then. Everything starts at home. She goes, I had a great family. I go, are you first generation? She goes, yes. I said, stop right there. I heard the stories before, so I kind of knew what she was talking about. I said, well, but tell me about your parents. My parents were very supportive. Well, I'm sure they were. How much did they support you? Were you their first child going to college? Yes. Do you understand what problems that brings up to them? For them coming over to a new country with a new language, and you're going to be the first person. It's like going to the moon. And so for them, they had limited ability to help you with a world they had no clue with. You probably had to figure all this out on your own. Is that right? She goes, yeah, I did. They couldn't do it. They didn't speak the language. They didn't know where to look. They don't know anything about computers. They were hard workers. Oh, that's right. People are hard workers. They wanted a better life for you, and they had the mindset, which is really good, because I get people who they don't want their kids to go to college because what does that mean? What do you do with this college degree thing? So they had the mindset to send you to college to better your life. But there's one thing they had difficult time doing. That was helping you on a step-by-step basis to get you into college, to understand the process of going to college, and therefore making you supporting along the way. So they weren't able to cultivate your college experience in getting in. And then when you told them about college, guess what? They probably didn't understand what you were talking about. So you're kind of left out. So there's this sort of gap that you have where I can't tell them about college because they don't get it. I can't talk about certain classes that they won't probably understand. So it's like, wow. And then there's the other thing where you're the first one in college. What does that mean to your family? What does that mean to friends? What does it mean to the people in the neighborhood? And then I get some of this from the people who are the first to go to college. Who do you think you are graduating from college? Why do you think you're better than us? So you got this whole thing. And then you got the whole idea, do I belong in college? Right? And that's called, they call that the syndrome.
Imposter.
The imposter syndrome. Thank you. Yeah, they call it imposter syndrome, where we don't believe what we did is good enough. And we believe we were a fraud. And what happens is we have this little thing where they keep chipping away at us, thinking we don't belong. Okay? But guess what? Now we need to break the spell. You break the spell by unbelieving, having empathy for your parents, understanding where they came from. That's the best they could do. How many hundreds of thousands of people, maybe millions of people, were the first generation in college? Right? And guess what you're going to do? That new student's going to pass it on to their kids. Now, because you know what the experience is like, guess what you're going to do? You're going to pass it on to yours and their generation and so forth and so on. So it's all in how you take the information. You can take the information by saying, something? They did as good as they could. They were there for me as best they could be. And I need to appreciate the journey that I've taken with them thus far. So now let me appreciate the journey and let me, shall we say, expand on what I've learned, become the professional I wanted to be, and go out and make it in the world and make them proud. They may not get it, but guess what? Give them a hug anyway, okay? They may see you drive up in a fancy car. How do you earn that? Well, Mom, I'm an accountant. We make what? Who knows what amount of money, and therefore, I can afford this. But that doesn't matter. What matters is that you believe in what you do. You believe in what they did. You're okay with it. And remember this doubt thing? You're creating it yourself. So guess what? If you decide not to carry this with you, you can make the decision not to do it anymore. Okay? You belong. You deserve it. You met the requirements. You passed the classes. You did the work. Guess what? Now it's time to go show the world what you can do. Okay? So that being said, we're going to wind this down. Okay? So we're going to go on to the next question. All right? So, any comments here? Anybody for Mr. Shadow? Any shadow side? So Shady gets it. Not much you can say, is there? No, not much you can say, man. Okay, well, I'll wait for the next question. So, that being said, we'll go on to the next question, because guess what? We got those 2 questions at the end about the 10 commandments of a relationship. 10 commandments for what? Yes, love. That's it. Okay, so let's do the next question. Next question is, why do we stay with our? This is a segue to the big questions at the end, to the two commandment questions. Why do we stay with our partners after seeing or knowing the signs of abuse? Why do we stay with our partners, right, after seeing or knowing the signs?
Okay, remember, it doesn't always have to be physical abuse.
Right, it doesn't have to
be. It can be verbal or emotional abuse.
Yeah. All right, signs of abuse. Abuse comes in different forms. You have mental abuse, social abuse, physical abuse, psychological abuse. It comes in different ways, okay? And so I'm taking this as I'm taking this as not physical. All right, we're just going, he doesn't know how to appreciate me. He doesn't see me. I'm gonna make this one-sided. He does not notice me. He doesn't meet my needs for appreciation. He does not validate me about what I do. He doesn't make me believe I'm special. Okay, those kinds of things. Maybe take me for granted. He doesn't see me. Okay, he doesn't meet my need for what? What's the need? He doesn't meet my need for. Well, that's the responsibility of the person. But we'll talk about that. But the question is, why do we stay?
One of the girls says because we think they'll change.
Yes, right. We'll think they'll change. Women, don't we love projects? Yeah, they all love projects, don't you? We love projects. Get out. We want to know that we had input in the change of our man. But here, so let's go deeper though. We want to change, but let's go deeper. Okay?
Because he's a fixer-upper with lots of potential.
So you're a fixer-upper, lots of potential. All right, that's right. Boy. So here it is. First of all, we're socialized, all right? We get socialized, right? And depending how we're socialized, right? If it's not a good socialization, if our needs are not met, guess what? We had a terrible childhood. Let's put it that way. I'm going to be blunt here. It's terrible. So we take that wounded child that we become, or abandoned child, or orphan child that we become, and we become fragmented. It means we're in pieces, okay? Because we're in pieces, we hide parts of ourselves to survive, because those parts of us that were not accepted are going to be hidden so we can't get rejected, or we can't get abused or made fun of in the real world. Okay, you get that? So we're fragmented. So we take that information, that fragmented self, and we make our own, shall we say, what do you call it, motherboard, or our own way of behaving in the world, and we go into the world in a subconscious way. So how we survived in childhood, we're going to take that with us into the big world. Then what's going to happen is this. We're going to take how we survived and pick a partner with that fragmented self. Isn't that lovely? Remember, we don't fall in love, we fall in need, right? They're going to make up for what we didn't get. So that's what happens. And because we are depending on them to fulfill that hole in us that was left as a child, they want the same thing from you. What happens is we don't know how to do that because no one taught us that. That's where the rub comes in. Okay? So you pick a person, and he's not meeting your needs for connection. He's not meeting your needs for warmth and affection and touch and all that good stuff. But you still stay. And maybe there's some verbal jabs. Maybe there's some side remarks that sting. And we stay. And here's a subconscious reason why we stay. I stay because I may not find somebody, or this is all I know. I don't know any better. So there's no right or wrong. I don't know. All I know is this. It's familiar to you. He treats you the same way probably your caretaker did. So you know that experience. You're wired for that. You don't like it, but you know it. The only way to change that is to wake up and go, why am I staying in this relationship and this guy's not giving me what I like? Okay? So just remember.
You convince yourself.
Yeah, you convince that little boy or that little girl in you or boy in you that, you know something? This is as good as it gets. I don't know any better. No one has signed up for the final step. Basically, no one has. I get that a lot. Well, where were you 20 years ago? No, you just hired me. I mean, what do you want from me? Mm-hmm. So when you get the information as to say, well, why do I do that? Why do I pick the same people? And then you can be married 5, 10 years or whatever, 15 years to a person, right? You get a divorce because you know this person's not good for you. He's toxic. He's poisonous. He's ripping you apart. But guess what? You picked up the same person. Again. Didn't you learn from the last one? And the reason you picked him because you didn't wake up. You didn't go, why do I do that? What is driving me towards that? And that's remember I talked about the nice dead person, but that's what the person is. They're just nice. They're nice and dead, familiar with the pain, familiar with being comfortable with being uncomfortable. Does that make sense? You're comfortable with being uncomfortable.
What if you don't recognize the signs?
That means you're sleeping.
Oh.
You're sleeping. Take a step back, look, ask yourself this question. What needs am I not getting from that individual? I'm going to take a quick story. I had 5 women, right? Brought out the need sheet. Bam. I said, here's the need sheet. Tell me what you're not getting from your man, right? I'm serious. This is what happened. Tell me what you're not getting. Highlight what you're not getting. They all put down 15 needs that we're getting: touch, warmth, physical affection, warmth, we're getting support, respect, emotional safety, affection, predictability, contribution, understanding, clarity, none of that. Right? They get a ton. So then ask this one question. Then why are you with them?
Because I love him.
Damn. Yeah. Why are you with him? Preach, sir. I'm preaching. So, right? I wasn't going to give them the answer. They had to figure it out on their own. Why are you with someone who's not meeting your needs? And where does that come from? So, they come back to me, and I get 3 divorces and 2 breakups. Right? Because they found for the first time on paper they saw what they weren't getting, and that the other person was unable to give it to them for their reasons, their damage, their fragmentation, whatever you want to call it. Okay? So they couldn't do it. But you have to wake up in order to change. Okay? That's why I'm working with a couple now doing the same thing. They have no idea the impact that the words that were said to them a long time ago, such as, you're not good enough. Who do you think you are? Figure it out. Right? Those kinds of things. Why can't you be like your sister? You're not smart. You don't deserve it. All that stuff. Right? Yeah, okay, down. So, that being said, no, you have to understand you first. And that's going to be, sometimes that's hard. That's not easy. Man, and you got to go through the light. You got to go through the dark to get to the light. You got to understand your weaknesses, your strength. What makes you tick, what doesn't make you tick, what sets you off, who said what, how did they say it, how did you interpret it. All this stuff has to come up so we can what? And empathy for you and the situation and the people involved, not making anybody the bad guy or girl, just making them the people. And what they said was that's all they knew. Okay? So, we hang on for those reasons. We hang on because that's all we know. And that's our little boy or girl who's wounded, right? Trying to make up for what they didn't get as a child. If I can make that person happy and he pats me on the back or she pats me on the back, guess what? Oh my God, he loves me. He loves me. Okay? You got that? What we want is some dignity. We want some self-respect, some self-worth. We want some, purpose and vision of what we want to do. We don't want anybody else to define where we go. All right? That's why I'm telling you guys, giving you this information, so hopefully it pushes a button in you so you can go out there next week and do something that empowers you, that changes something in your life for the better. Okay? That's what I'm trying to do. All right? You guys are keeping me busy. I'm reading a lot more. I'm studying. I love it. Thank you. And I get to contribute, and I hope this works. So I'm giving just a little bit. Remember, this is surface stuff. When you meet up with me one-on-one, we get deeper.
This is question number 2, right?
This is question number 2. Okay?
There is no question number 3.
No, number 3.
We only 2 questions.
2 questions. And then that relationship tip.
Okay.
All right, the relationship tip. So that's good for that. And I'm going to do a commercial here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Final Step International, where we make sense of your life. Okay? Our goal is to guide you to acknowledge and accept your truth so you can feel better, feel different, behave different, think different so you can be different. All right? That's what we do, Final Step International. I can lead you to the truth, but I cannot make you believe it. Got that? Well, I can lay it all out there. I can tell you all kinds of things.
No, he's preaching.
I can't. I'm church.
What is wrong with you?
Nothing. I'm getting comfortable. That's why.
Okay.
I'm the kind of guy who sticks his toe in the lake, and then a little more warmer. Oh, now we're getting it. Now I can swim. Preach it. All right. So I can lead you to the truth, but I can't make you believe it. That's up to you. All right. What you do with that. All right. So that being said, we're going to transition. All right. We're going to transition to. Remember we talked about the 10 commandments of a relationship, right? 10 rules to live by to ensure unhappiness in a relationship.
Okay, so is to ensure
Unhappiness, absolutely. I want you to be misery. I want you to know misery. I want you to know suffering. It's like you're in your own personal hell, right? Yeah, something. Yeah. All right. I'm exaggerating the point to get to the point. Okay. Sound like me. That's my job. That's my job. I understand. Okay, take it away. So the first one we said was thou shalt make me happy.
Right.
Ooh, remember that one, right?
Right.
Number 2 was thou shalt not have any interest other than me.
Right.
Ooh, how many here have been cut off from their families, friends, right? To get you isolated, right? Shoot, I'm the one. I'm your only one. Okay? Now, those are the last 2. We'll do this each week.
Those were last week.
Yeah, it was last week's. This week is this. Thou shalt know what I want and what I feel without me having to say.
Especially from Starbucks.
Woo! Thou shalt...
After 10 years.
Well, it took me a while. Thou shalt know what I want and what I feel without me having to say. In other words, you need to read my mind.
That's what Chella says.
What?
Absolutely.
What?
Chella says that is what I'm talking
You got to
about.
read my mind.
Absolutely.
You're supposed to anticipate every need I have.
I do yours.
Right? That's because you're a mind reader. I'm not. No. I am a knuckle dragger. Big difference. I'm just discovered fire. Okay? So, think about that one. Instead of trying to read someone's mind on what they say or didn't say, just ask. Ask. Hey, what are you thinking about that? Okay? But think about that. How many here have been involved?
Number 3 is just tell me what you want.
Yeah, just tell me what you want. Tell me what you're needing.
So it's not just...
Yeah, without, the mind reading, that's what gets people in trouble, because if doesn't come up the way you want, then we get the big argument, we get the big fights, and all hell breaks loose. Right? And we're back to more suffering. Again, some people know that, that dance. So where the other one is...
Chella says check.
Check. Number 4. Thou shalt return each one of my sacrifices with an equal or greater sacrifice. Ooh, Lord.
No, she
what
didn't.
the
No,
hell?
she didn't.
Hell no. I can't even process that. Not the dark side. Get
Okay,
back.
wait. Okay, so what is number 4?
Thou shalt return each one of my sacrifices with an equal or greater sacrifices.
Okay, so every time I do something for you, I expect you to do something even
Bigger,
for me.
yes. I cook you an egg, you cook me an omelet. You make me a sandwich, I want a buffet. Excuse me, a buffet. I said that. How dare he butcher the language. All right? If you buy me jewelry, I expect you know, and what do you call it? Some 15 carats
The
diamond.
$12,000 necklace
Right,
from Costco.
right, carrots and peas, right? So, yeah, it's supposed to sacrifice. All right, now we're playing the martyr. Okay, so that's number 4. So, there you go. Thou shalt know what I want and what I feel without me having to say, and thou shalt return each one of my sacrifices with an equal or greater sacrifice. Okay, so think about that. If these resonate in your relationship, let it be known. Just see. Just kind of look back in the past, okay? Where are we? Oh, we're almost out of time. This half hour was quick. Wow. So, again, remember, I can lead you to the truth, but I can't make you believe it. All right? Remember what we talked about. Take some nuggets out of here that you can. Apply it to your life, apply it to your relationships. Whenever you need something, ask for it. If people aren't meeting your needs, inform them. All right? Get the book, because my workbook has all this, has all the needs in them and all the needs and emotions in it, so you can refer to it. But again, everything's here to help you guys. Okay? I want an empowered final step community. That's what we're fighting for. Okay? So I want the stories about, you know something, I told that man no. And no means no.
Ask them if they have any
Okay.
questions.
If you guys have any questions, please let me know.
Any feedback.
More questions, any feedback.
Type it in right now.
And type them in right now. I have my producer working. Who's that producer? She's cute. Leave her alone, man. Focus. I am on her. Ease up. All right. So anyway, and Shady here, the dark side, this Curses and Spells character here, will enhance some of the answers that we talked about. Because remember, if we don't handle him, we don't move forward. He is the one you need to heal from. And he doesn't heal unless you face him. So look at him. Face him and remember the things that were said that you interpreted in a way, right, that impacted you. Think they're going to get it? Yeah, they'll get it. All right. See you guys next week. All right, we'll see you guys next week. Have a great week. Take care of yourself. Be good to yourself. And ask for what you're needing. I'm signing out. And do like the soap operas.
Such a dork. Wait, I'm typing. I can't do everything at
I'm
once.
freezing. Go ahead. It's called an egg, by the way, when they phase to a commercial.
Wait, I gotta tell them thank you for tuning in.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Tell your friends if you like it. Let's keep moving forward. Remember, this is week 5, week 6 next week. We'll have 2 great questions to add to your repertoire. Oh, it's fancy for French or something.
And did you tell them to invite their friends?
Yeah, invite your friends,
Ah,
yeah.
Look, you're getting a lot of thumbs up.
Wow.
What happened to the heart, Cece?
Artsies, love, emotions, haha! Why show them that? I'll do the thumbs up.
No hearts, Cece? What is going on?
Come on, Cece. Don't make me swing out.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cece.
Okay.
Yeah, love you too, love you. She loves what? What? Who's that? Never mind. Okay. I heard love.
And Nicole, are you sending hearts too?
What? Nicole? Who's Nicole?
She doesn't like the puppet.
What? You don't? Nicole, I see you.
And Lisa, they're so funny. They're like, they can't with the puppet. All right. Good night, guys.
Good night, everybody.